what you do with your money after you get paid. Like, don't just be out here just living paycheck to paycheck and then just like claiming to be an adult. Like, being an adult, sometimes you're going to have to take risks. And what I notice is that some people don't take risks. They rather live into what's going on at the moment. But what I'm starting to notice is that, like, the only thing they want to do is just have fun and party. Like, when they get off of work, the only thing they're doing is just drinking and playing video games, and they're not really doing anything with themselves. Like, they're not out here like trying to live life. And then they criticize people who want to live their life.
I understand what you're saying. And not to say, you know,
challenge
playing video games is wrong, but like, if you're not gonna make that into like a career or a successful like business or something, you should like put your time and effort into trying to learn how to grow something before it.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player. I was made to build the
Podcast. It is your boy Marcus Morton, and always here with me is the Aaron Mack and the lovely Coco.
What's up, you guys?
God
Damn.
damn.
He peeked. Yeah.
He peeked.
This is a small peek.
My man peeked
Small
out.
peek.
No.
My man peeked out. No, ain't no such thing as a small peek.
Yeah.
Ain't no such thing. What's
Either you
going
peek
on?
or you don't.
This thing loud as hell today. Ooh wee. As you guys can see, there's nobody here putting in new toilets while we doing the podcast.
Oh.
They actually came yesterday. I was shocked to come back to the apartment yesterday and see that my toilets grew. Like, they just grew in size. Like,
Ooh. Did you get the button? You don't got the.
Are you in somebody's parking spot?
there's no assigned parking out here.
Okay, cool.
There was literally a truck taking up 2 parking spaces this morning, and a car next to it that decided to park in the middle of the line. Like, the line was literally in the middle of their car. I was like, that ain't how that's supposed to go.
Did you lock the doors?
Okay, so I think so. I used to do that when I first got my car because it was brand new and it was shiny, and I was just like, so.
You're not close enough, babe.
You're not close enough, bro.
I heard if you put it up against your skull, it like amplifies.
That's a myth. It's definitely a myth. No crackhead told me that one time. But I was confused. I was like, have you ever owned a car?
Oh man.
Did you really ask?
I mean, it was a legitimate question. They won't drive. They were asking me for a ride.
I feel it.
I mean, shit.
Like I rated off a wiki. What? Wikipedia.
Oh.
I don't know what Wikipedia. No.
Oh, damn. So, so question. Is it Marcus? I'm gonna ask you this because I don't think we can really ask Courtney, even though she can chime in on it. I just want to know: is it just part of being a man that just like you got to like stare down every single woman that you see and womanize everything? Is it just part of being a man when you see you know, the song I Like Big Butts just play in your head is like your natural theme song? Is that just a thing that I just did not get in you know, growing up? 'Cause I just don't get it, man.
So apparently when I was working at the shipyard, I was actually like talked down to about that like situation. 'Cause
I was actually talked down to about that in basic training too. It's interesting that you said that.
Yeah, and it's real weird because it was like that's not how a man's supposed to act. Like you're supposed to go for the women or something like that.
Put your labels on me.
Right? I was like, I guess I ain't a man though, for because all right, like it happened on multiple occasions. All right, first there was this bigger girl, and there's nothing wrong with big women, but I'm only 5'6", like 200 pounds even.
I feel that.
I can't. I wanna lift my woman. I can't lift everything. I ain't been in the gym in a while. I'm a little weak. My muscles ain't there.
Yeah.
So there was like he's like, is that your type or whatever? He's like, is that what you prefer? And I'm like, no, like man, I can't handle that. I'm sorry. He's like, that's not a man. Man is supposed to. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna try throw my back out. I'm not doing that. No, we can't. No, I can't please that sexually. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm gonna be honest though.
I feel you.
How can someone that's not your father figure or whatever tell you what a man's supposed to be? And,
oh yeah, he was.
And how they supposed to act. And
That's a good question, man.
I had to get out of there
Yeah.
Like,
That sounds like a very toxic environment. But that's how I was when I was in the military too. Pretty much the same thing. Like you go like on a mission when you had to stay away from home and you're just around nobody but your unit. Like just all the guys just start acting like assholes. It's like it just starts to feel like high school all over again.
Yeah.
The drama starts to pick up. It's like, who smashed who and who looked good, and then it's like the fresh meat syndrome starts to happen. But that actually happens at work too. Fresh meat syndrome.
every
Explain.
year.
So there's a new skinny white girl that works at our job on the pack line, and her station looked like an episode of The Bachelorette yesterday.
Oh no!
And I called one of my dudes out on. I was like, hey, 3-1 looked like Bachelorette over that jump. He was like, what you mean? I was like, yo, she got a new episode every 10 minutes.
Damn.
And he had just come from over there, and it was 2 dudes over there when he left from over there. She went on break with one of the dudes. I was like, what's happening?
She was walking with 3 of them.
Yeah.
To break.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Well, she's a very nice girl.
Yeah, she is. I hope she knows what she's getting into. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe she's just friendly. Maybe.
Yeah, but sometimes friendly can be taken advantage of.
But
see, that's the thing that I'm trying to get at is like these dudes, they see that, womanizing is part of being a real man, and you can tell the ones that does it on a normal.
Right.
Like a dude approached me with one of the new chicks and was like, man, that girl right there fine as hell. I just laughed and kept it moving. He was like, you ain't see that junk? Like he kept on egging it on. Like, you ain't see that junk? No, I'm not looking.
Fact.
He was like, for real, man, come on, man. You ain't beat that joint at all. I'm like, bro, I'm working. What are you talking about?
That's crazy because I had some exes. They'll be like that. Like, yo, you seen her ass? And I'm like, oh yeah. But me being young back then, I ain't.
No.
Why you was in a relationship with him?
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I realize that I'm more mature now.
Okay. I mean, I don't think that would be necessarily the way to go about it unless you know for a fact that your woman is like feeling the same way.
Right.
No. I only go one way. So.
No. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, but yeah, I told y'all about the guy who asked me that shit like in front of Lee. And I was like, just like, like, she right there. Really?
Like this is where my attention goes to, sir.
Right, exactly. And then, like, I don't have time for her, so I mean,
Right.
I damn sure ain't about to pick up another one.
Another one.
And
that's another thing. Like, how do you put that much time into multiple?
There we go. All right, go ahead.
One is a full-time job, first of all.
Ooh.
And then you have multiple that you have to attend to. You have to remember names, information about, and like men just do this regularly. Every night. Hold on. Sorry, let me take it back. Boys do this regularly.
Woo!
Like how you could be putting that much that energy into like something else, something productive, something that betters you. Like
you can put it into a relationship that's going to benefit you for that time and your future.
Right.
Like I grew up, man. And the guys in my family, they ain't on that getting married and healthy, long-term healthy relationships and all that stuff. Like the dudes in my family, like I know I got an older cousin who sleeps around all the time. He told me when I was young that he would never get married. Well, I actually overheard him say that he ain't never getting married. There was a time period in my man's life where he was with a different woman every single night, and like few of the women like twice a week, and he'll like try to like kind of manipulate the situation so they wouldn't know about each other. And I'm like, dog,
too much work.
That's way too much. That's way too much work, man. That's way too much work. I'm like that energy could be put into that business that you running that's failing. How about that? Like, let's do that. Like, why?
Facts. Like, manipulate some commas, man.
Just ask your friend.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'd like send them the link to the last podcast episode, and ask them like in the question like, yo, how, why, and then you always broke. So what money you throwing? Maybe that's why he was always broke.
Wine and dine?
Wine and dine, maybe escorts.
Oh no.
Maybe.
Jesus.
They get kind of expensive.
All the way out there.
They everywhere.
Bro, he probably got a family friend out there, bitch. They all know each other.
Jesus.
This is a one horse town, bro. You ever been to Farmville?
Yes.
All right then. All right then.
They used to got a movie theater. They got a decent movie theater. I give them that.
Okay. All right.
I give.
It was probably what he do with that.
And
the shade just continue. It's a cloudy day today.
It is for it's like been raining all day.
Yeah.
All week actually.
Actually, no, because it was sunny yesterday.
Stop lying.
It was.
Stop lying.
Wait, yesterday?
It didn't pop. It just buzzed.
Was yesterday the day that I went to? What the fuck?
Yeah, just say you went to fix the car. Nah, it was raining. It was raining.
Yeah, it was raining yesterday. The day before yesterday is what I meant to say.
Where is that coming from?
Well, I mean, it's necessary because it's like people don't understand what they're doing, and one thing that I'm having a problem with is like there are a lot of grown ass kids, and what I mean by grown ass kids, I mean like you talk about guys who pretty much beat on their chest for a living, but yet they claim they grown men, and it's not even just the men, it's women too. Like they all are just like spouting out like, yeah, I'm grown, I'm this, I'm that, like, and then you just act like a kid at your own terms. Right. Like you want to be grown when it's convenient for you, but when it's actually time to be an adult, all of a sudden you ain't nowhere to show up. Like I know too many people at our job who don't really take care of their kids. Like while we sitting in the break room when a girl FaceTiming her kids and just like talking to them like they ain't shit. Like I just don't get it. Like how is that being an adult? I really don't understand. And yeah, I'm going there. But I just really don't get it.
Most of the time it's the environment that they grew up with. They know nothing else but that.
That's
like
right.
That could have been their situation when they was a kid. You know, they trying to seek their parents' attention and all they getting is, you know, cussed out and all this other stuff. But like we've been saying,
I had the same experience. My mom was the same way. My mom was cold, and I mean cold. Like affection wasn't her thing.
Right.
Like she would show affection probably like once a month. Literally like once a month.
But see, everybody is not like you. They probably got used to it and was like, whatever. You know, they wouldn't want to not grow up that way.
Yeah, all right, I get that, but I mean, you can't. All right, So I can't reverse engineer how I went through that, but I remember at one point where I was just like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I guess this is what I'm going to do. This is what, I see how she did it. So, I mean, obviously this parenting thing is easy if all you got to do is just have a baby and fucking ignore it. Like, I mean, it's like, yeah, anybody could do that, right? Nah, I can do that. Like, but what I ended up realizing is that when I got with my ex and she had a daughter that was already born when I came into the situation, as she grew up, I started to realize that some of the things that my mom was doing to me, I was doing to her. Oh. And I had to fix that because that little girl did not deserve that. Mm. So if it's an environment thing, then so be it. But at the same time, it's like, when do we break the cycle?
Facts. It has to be something that changes within that person. Like they're not just gonna, change overnight. Like I don't want to say it has to be something traumatic. It can be something small. You have to like want better for that kid. Like I've been through, holy hell, so I wouldn't want to put that on anything that I bring into this world.
Right.
So, as it's kind of funny because I remember like the whole dating scene or whatever. I didn't like doing it when I was like living with my parents. Mm-hmm. Cause it's their house, I'm up under
I get
their
that.
rules and all that other stuff. Like I wanted to like wait until I got away from that to like start dating or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Is that why you moved in? That's why you moved yourself in?
Nah, not necessarily. What was I going there? But yeah, they're gonna have to want change within themselves to break cycles. Like
I get that.
It's not necessarily a hard process, but like when people don't know, they live in ignorance, and ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, I understand that perspective, but at the same time, I kind of feel like if you are taking care of someone, and like there's a life that you're responsible for as a person, like if you got out of your own head and stopped thinking about your damn self, then that wouldn't even be a problem.
Right.
Because then you stop thinking about what you want and what you feel like doing and start thinking about what that child needs.
Ooh.
And we don't do that. We don't necessarily do that. I mean, I can't speak for everybody. When the hell did you get your nose pierced? Has that always been a thing?
I haven't pierced since I was 17.
What in the shit? Do you always wear that? Anyway. Whoa. All right.
But yeah, most parents, they really just they selfish. A lot of times they haven't really, a lot of times they haven't like grown up.
Yeah.
A lot of parents these days, they're still learning. They're still kids themselves.
Yeah.
And what gets me is a young lady or a man will have a kid, get a lady pregnant, and then just swear up and down like overnight they're changed. They're a whole new person. They have grown up, as we say, or they're adult now or something like that.
But you know what? Sometimes that actually does happen. There are some people who just look at it like, okay, I'm bringing the life into this world. Shit just got real.
Okay,
shit just hit the fan, and now I know I need to change because of how I'm living now. I don't want my baby girl or my baby boy to see me like that, and I don't want that to be the example.
Okay, true. I got some of those that have stepped up to the plate,
and I guess there's a difference between a grown ass man and a little ass boy.
Yeah.
Because I ain't even got kids yet. They're just a thought. Just a thought. I got it. I got you. And you I know you got a lot to add on to that too. So I mean, it's crazy.
It is crazy because you're bringing a whole life into the world. A whole life. Like that child deserves everything you didn't have. You know?
Right.
Like, stuff I didn't have as a child, I wanted my son to have. And he's going to have that.
Right.
But you think he would, like...
Step up.
Yeah, step up to the plate.
Evolve.
evolved, but none of that have changed. Like now, I can't speak for that because I'm not around him. I don't talk to him. I don't know what he's doing with his life now. But, but you know.
But it's the major difference between the guy who walks out of his kid's life and the guy who steps in and it ain't even his kid.
Right.
Which takes a real boss ass motherfucker to do that, by the way.
Stepdaddy's matter.
Nah. I kind of feel it's just a theory. I kind of feel like the whole disconnect with a woman going through birth and a man going through birth, that the men, we don't really feel that pain that the woman has to go through. So I think that kind of disconnects them. Like they don't basically lay down their life to have a kid. Like in that moment, that's a life or death situation.
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like they don't.
And then
fully
it's
understand.
like the woman carries the child for 9 months.
10.
I mean, we carried them all our lives, but we ain't gonna get into that.
Not
necessarily. Not necessarily.
Not all your life.
Not necessarily. They yeah. we ain't gotta go.
We ain't going nowhere.
We ain't gotta go there. No, because I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's a recycling process. I promise you. Like there's a few of them go into the toilet sometime every now and then.
Into a sock.
All right. Hold on. Let's go there. Who the fuck out here using socks to jack off in? Let's go there. Let's talk about this for a second, because I seen that shit on American Pie. I was so confused. Like my man had this sock that was like it looked like fucking what you call this shit, like the plaster. Like he had a sock that looked like plaster. I was like, who the hell is out here jacking off in the rigid ass socks? Like that shit is nasty as fuck.
What the fuck?
That is nasty as shit.
Oh my god.
Oh man. So all right. So nobody know nobody who do that. Is that just a white boy thing? Like
it might be.
Can we not go there?
Nah.
We can't go there.
I know somebody who do, but
what in the hell is the logic to that? Like, and then use the same one over and over.
At least watch it. Like,
oh man, like I can't imagine like trying to pour one of them Jones open. The crust, just a little dust,
like
powdered milk,
like ripping not ripping, but taking apart Velcro.
Oh man,
but I wanted to say another reason why people don't mature or grow up is because their parents have coddled them all their lives.
Okay. Yeah, that could also be a contributing factor.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
And then they'll coddle them, and then when they turn 18, they just push them on out. And now the child or the adult is out without knowledge, out in the world without knowledge, and just doing what they know. Some people we know still live with their parents, ain't paying no bills,
and still broke.
Yeah, and still broke. Well, how you broke?
How you broke and you live at home? That never resonated with me.
Unless you paying bills with your mama, but doubt it. Highly doubt it.
Because it's not often like parents out here charging their kids rent for staying with them.
Thanks.
Like that's not usually how that works. Like usually, if the kid is staying at home, then they help him. They help him paying bills if they paying anything. But like most parents ain't out here charging their kids rent.
My dad tried that. I was like, rent.
My dude, you supposed to be letting me get on my feet.
But yeah, like
I mean, I've been there though.
I remember, but still, like if you get a good enough job, well, I was working.
Ain't no such thing as a good enough job.
I was working construction now, and like I couldn't figure out how to get rid of the money. Like it was just sitting there, like just piling up, and I'm like,
savings account.
Well, you know, that's what I did and all that.
He was saying that he won't spending it.
Yeah, I couldn't spend it. Actually, I was at work like 24/7.
That's what happens when you get a good high paying job. You stay at work too long to even spend this shit.
Facts. I was like, yo, weird. Like, it feels weird because it was new. Like, it was like, what am I missing? Like, I've never been this well off. Like, did I forget to pay something? Do I need to buy something? Like,
Pay extra on stuff.
right? It's like, where do I go?
That's sad. I wish I knew you then. I'm just saying, you was offering trips and
what?
Did you
I
not?
was.
Yeah.
I was. I was trying to be an adult. I was like, hey,
Nah,
got the money.
You just wanted to go somewhere. He's just like, I'm gonna go whether you go or not. So you coming?
Facts.
Did you go?
Yeah, I went to go see my friends in South Carolina. We actually went to Myrtle Beach, and I asked the young lady to come. She was like, nah. And I was like, all right, cool. Deuces. I took my little brother. Usually that's the fallback.
Take your little brother.
Yeah. I be like, hey, man, you doing that thing? He like, nah. I was like, all right, come on, let's go. Gotta travel in Paris. Especially nowadays.
You gotta actually travel to Paris.
Travel in pairs.
Oh, travel in pairs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
I thought you were saying some saying that I never heard before.
What?
I don't know.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Tragic.
I don't know.
But yeah, if you do get like a high paying job, always, put money aside, save, learn.
Stop relying on the job for one thing.
True. I do actually want to go back to construction like one last time, rack up, and then use that as like a super boost, like some NOS to whatever I want to do in life.
I think I know what you're saying. I got you.
Yeah.
Just hold tight.
Cool.
Just have faith. Just hold tight. I got you. It's gonna be fun. I promise you. I promise you. We'll talk about that after the podcast.
Gotcha.
Because I actually did have a conversation with Alyssa about that last night. So
Hey.
yeah, about you and your construction skills. So yeah. So
I do election work too.
yeah.
Holding back information.
Which I already knew that.
Oh,
but,
okay. All right.
Because he did say he worked in solar before, so I kind of already knew that.
But no, at the shipyard I was a electrician.
How did you get that without a degree in it? You couldn't have been no more than 20 at the time. Like, what the hell?
Okay, so the degree I have, the 2-year degree I have,
you actually do have a 2-year degree.
Yeah, it's a degree in industrial maintenance technician.
Oh,
which I have no idea what it is.
You a maintenance guy?
I guess.
You could literally. Why aren't you working?
I told him to apply.
What's wrong? What's going on with you, dog? Like, oh yeah, he right. He right.
Okay. I put everything on the resume. They was like, pick.
Well, see, no. Because our job at first, they didn't go off of resumes.
So what?
They went off of standings inside the building. Now now they go off a resume.
Do you have that option?
It was never an option.
It was like you could, not really.
Not in our building. It wasn't. They never recruited people off of their resume. Always that stupid ass. The people like external. If people coming in, they use resumes because they didn't have a.
Okay.
They didn't have a what was it? What was the hiring matrix that they used to use? Okay. Where they calculate the points or something of all your good standings inside the building.
I think I do.
Didn't you have to take a test like can you lift 50 pounds or can you ride a machinery? Oh,
talking about for integrity.
The assessment when you first applied, yeah.
For integrity.
Oh.
But yeah.
No,
so
are you talking about for integrity? I'm asking.
I think it is.
We breaking off of the topic. Let me just say, like, to add on to what Marcus was saying about your job, like, what you do with your money after you get paid. Like, don't just be out here just living paycheck to paycheck and then just like claiming to be an adult. Like, being an adult, sometimes you're going to have to take risk. And what I notice is that some people don't take risks. They rather live into what's going on at the moment. And what I come to notice is that half of the people that is our age, and what I mean by our age, I mean the millennials, I guess you can say, or Generation Z, which I think that's Generation Z or Generation Y. I don't fucking know. But what I'm starting to notice is that, like, the only thing they want to do is just have fun and party. Like, when they get off of work, the only thing they doing is just drinking and playing video games, and they're not really doing anything with themselves. Like, they're not out here like trying to live life. And then they criticize people who want to live their life.
I understand what you're saying. And not to say,
do we have a challenge?
Playing video games is wrong. But, like, if you're not going to make that into, like, a career or a successful, like, business or something, you should, like, put your time and effort into trying to learn how to grow something with the money you do have. I know, like, I've always had the mindset that when I do get better off, when I do become an adult, get my own place and all that other stuff, like, I am willing to take all means of sacrifices. If I have to go, like, a week with only eating, like, bologna sandwiches or doing... I
don't think you had to go that far.
Going there. Man, I was ready for it, bro. I'm telling you, I was.
You talking about when you were by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get that. I was in the same boat.
Yeah, like, I was like, I'm gonna tackle this adulting thing head on. I ain't gonna be lacking in any parts. If I have to sacrifice, I'll sacrifice. Just it's a mindset first. Like, I was gonna be successful. That was. But I am gonna be successful. My bad. I am. But yeah, like, it's a mindset first of all. Like, you have to prepare yourself for that before
Absolutely.
you can.
But just to add on to what you were saying about the video games, there is nothing wrong with playing video games, because every now and then I pick up the Switch, even though the Joy-Con drift is a little bit unbearable. But it's not about playing the video game that's the problem. It's the time management that goes around playing the video game that's the problem. Like, getting off of work and doing nothing but playing video games until it's time for you to go to bed. Even some nights you get too involved into the game and skip sleep just to play the game a little bit longer. Like, not doing that, not spending that time on something that's going to benefit your future. Or then on top of that, like, you do have some people who play the video game and they ignore their responsibilities. So it's not about the video game itself, because playing video games isn't a problem. It's like calling money evil, the root of all evil. It's not the money that's evil. It's the people who use the money that's evil. So it's not about the video games being bad or good. It's about how you spend your time around playing that video game.
What advice could you give somebody going into adulthood, I guess?
I like that. How you asked that question. Advice I'll give to somebody who's going into adulthood, you mean like a teenager turning 21 or something, or somebody turning 21? Find good examples of what an adult actually is. Figure out what you want in your life as an adult. Like, where do you see yourself going? Because at 21, though you may not have all the answers to where you want to go in your life, you may know some kind of idea of where it is you want to go, what it is you want to do. And at that point, you should find someone who could hold you accountable to becoming what you want to become. Don't just keep it to yourself. Say that shit out loud. Get around somebody that you can actually say, like, okay, yeah, I want to do this. So yeah, all right, now that I heard you say you want to do that, what you doing over here don't look like you want to do that. So what you gonna do? Somebody that's going to hold you accountable and keep you square on your path to moving where you want to go in life.
Okay. And
that's something that I wish I would have did when I turned 21, because I had no idea what the hell I want, where I was going.
Same. A lot of changing up plans. A lot of a lot of coddling to what other people thought I should be doing.
and going off of what other people say I am, and not really knowing who I am and what I am from the inside. So yeah, that's the advice. That's the advice I would give my own 21-year-old self. In fact, if I go a little bit further than that, back when I was 17 years old, I would have made a whole lot of different choices. I wouldn't have never went into the Army, because I would have noticed that wasn't really a good call for me. I could have learned everything that I learned there on my own.
Oh.
It's a waste of time. In my opinion. Like, you got some people who, they spend 20 some years doing serving Uncle Sam, and I mean, more power to them. It just wasn't for me. I just knew I had a clearer, more defined path on my own. I didn't need the structure that the Army gave to me in order to be structured.
So do you say that the Army like instilled anything that you hold dear today?
Of course. Like I feel like when it comes to basic training, every adult should go through something similar to what basic training was to me. Like, it taught me leadership principles. It taught me discipline. It taught me like real values, like togetherness, family, teamwork, things like that. So yeah, I believe that that did teach me. But the problem with the Army was that all that shit kind of went out the window once you hit your unit and you see that it's just like high school.
All right. Why do you think that when we come right out of high school and go into the real world, that there's bits and pieces, well, not bits and pieces, like chunks of high school and adults? Like the whole sitting at a certain table discussing, mundane stuff that doesn't even, has no substance. The whole, as we were talking about, cat calling women. What else happened in high school? Bullying. Yeah, gossiping.
There's a lot of that go on at work.
Everywhere.
Like, why don't we have a transitional period to come out of that? Why isn't high school left in high school? Why is that carried on?
Because we don't get around people who tell us that's stupid.
Ooh.
We don't get around people that tell us that we wasting our fucking time talking about mundane stuff. See, if I had somebody in my ear telling me that, okay, what are we talking about? Like, for instance, when I'm at work and we go on break, what do we talk about on break?
Work. I'm at business.
This right here.
When somebody come up into our circle and talk about work, what usually happens? What usually happens?
Let me tell you how it go.
Okay.
They talk about work. Aaron looks at them with a death stare and be like, I'm clocked out. I don't want to talk about work. And then they just sit there like, oh.
They usually sit there quiet. Because at that point, that's like, okay, well, you don't want to talk about work. What do you want to talk about? And I just usually ignore them and just exclude them from the conversation in general.
Like, so anyway.
So it's just about having the people around you. Because, of course, it's easy to jump into a conversation where somebody is already gossiping about somebody else in the warehouse, right. Who screwed who about to fight who, and who like being an asshole at their job or whatever, who trying to play my manager, all things like that. But it's easy to jump into conversations like that because that's what everybody is talking about. Like the majority of people, that's what their conversation level is.
Like today's topic, that was just everywhere I went.
What's that?
Today's topic, adulting.
Oh
no.
She's talking about the.
Oh.
I don't really know what's going on here, but yeah. So it's easy to jump into a conversation where somebody's talking about that because you easily fit in, and everybody's looking to fit in because humans are social creatures, so we want to relate to everybody around us. So if everybody around you is on a level of thinking, well, all right, let's just gossip about this person over here who we don't understand. We just want to put them in the box and just like cast them out, just like, okay, well, we're gonna talk shit about them for a few minutes. Let's go ahead and do that. And okay, well, the job is stupid. So let's talk about the job. Let's complain about the job. Okay, we're at work, so let's complain about work.
Just leave.
Just leave. Yeah, but we don't have anybody who says that stuff. There's nobody talking about that. That's why people, because in high school you used to do that.
It's like I want to say it sometimes, but the way I said is not. I don't project it nice enough, I believe. Yeah. So.
Yeah, cause shut the fuck up usually doesn't bode well with some people.
I don't. I really don't. Oh, you're so rude, but I'm like,
I'm just being real. Like that's why I like explain to people like what you're doing is getting on my nerves. Well, what am I doing? You talking about something that you shouldn't be talking about. Why? Because we're not in a position to talk about it. I'm not a red vest, so why am I complaining about what's going on at a red vest level? I'm a tier 1.
Facts.
And I'm gonna stay a tier 1 until I'm done with that place, because my mental focus needs to be here and whatever happens in here and whatever is dealing with that. Because if I'm dealing with their shit, I can't focus on that shit. So therefore, I got to put my priorities first.
Facts. And that's another thing about being an adult. Having priorities, understanding your priorities, knowing your priorities, and doing what it takes to get those done, or to take care of those, actually. Because a lot of people got the game twisted.
Real fucking
Twizzler.
Real
Twizzler.
Because a lot of people put like a whole bunch of other stuff over their priorities and just totally foolish out here. Like they'll buy, the fancy shoes or whatever, and then
but you walking,
your card, messed up. It could be something simple.
Oh, you just don't have one.
That too.
Well, we got the girl who show up to work with a
new wig
with a very, very, very expensive bag and getting a ride to work because she's sharing a car with her boyfriend. And it's not even a nice car. It's a car that I'm pretty sure they just got out of the shop like 2 weeks ago. Wow.
But you got that Louis V though.
Yeah. And can't wait to go to the club when the coronavirus pandemic thing is over.
I hate when people put other things over their children.
She also has kids. Who's skinny as fuck, but she fat.
And not in a good way. Not in the
her drugs
pH.
are involved.
I'm so lost.
So speaking about them priorities.
A family member of mine, not gonna put her out there, she rather sell her food stamps to buy weed and other stuff instead of food.
Kids.
Yeah, and it really pisses me off. It's like I want to say something, but I know it'll turn physical.
And it's like you get to a point sometimes where it's like if I say something, then you just gonna be pissed.
Right.
But I'm the type of person I used to be like that. Like if I see something wrong, I wouldn't usually say anything about it. But at a certain point, you become a crutch if you don't. So it's like if I don't say nothing, that means I support what you're doing. And if I don't support it, 9 times out of 10, I'm not about to sit up here and just act like I didn't see that. Oh, I'm like, okay, I might not call you out on it, but I'm gonna make you feel bad about it. Like I'm gonna ask you, like, so why are you doing that? And I'm like, I ain't trying to get in your business, but your kid's probably hungry. Right. I can see. Look, I play xylophone off your son's ribs. Like, come on, like, what are you doing? Is that weed more important than feeding your kid? Like, I ain't trying to get in your business now. I ain't trying to get in your business now, but I can hear your baby's son, his stomach is growling. I can hear it, and he like 2 rooms away. Like, come on.
But isn't it that's just when like processed food, like more like cereal and microwavable things?
And see, and that's still bad.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different problem. You feeding them, but you ain't feeding them nothing nutritious. So now they about to grow up with diabetes because you wanted weed. They about to have high cholesterol at the age of 18 because you wanted weed. Like, I can't support stuff like that.
Like,
and if I got
it's to the point where like bills are late, but you have government assistance.
Bro, how you have government? They give you the money to pay your shit.
Right. And it don't, and then you do have to pay something. It won't even be that much. So how are you late? How are you getting eviction notices
when your rent is $200 a month?
Oh.
Barely that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Barely that.
Yeah. Section 8, bro. Yeah.
How is your lights about to get cut off?
Jesus.
Bro, they gave you a discount. Like, you got a discount from the electric company. How you getting the death threat?
Tragic.
Like,
it's like it's cold outside and they about to cut your shit off. Like, yo, how are you okay with that?
And then you boo-hoo cry and run to your parents expecting them to save you every time. And sadly, they do.
See what I mean?
Sadly, they do.
The crutch. I would start with them. Like, yo, how y'all supporting that?
It's like I try. I can't do so much since I'm here and they're there. You know, different state. Yeah.
I get it. All right, so stuff like that. I literally have what's the word that I'm looking for? I have sympathy for children who grow up in situations like that, because I've personally seen situations like that even in my own family. And I'm an only child, and my mom, even though she neglected the fuck out of me, she ain't do no shit like that. But like I said, I have strong feelings towards stuff like that, and when I see things like that, I can't help but to address the issue. I guess it's just in my nature. It's the reason why the brand is what it is. Right. So, for anybody who is dealing with that or seeing stuff like that, I wouldn't necessarily like jump down people's throat. You know, like it's because it's easy to see a situation like that and just cut somebody out because they're doing that. Because they doing dirt. But it's like you have an emotional response to that situation. So people, when you talking to people and you're telling them how you feel about a certain situation, they're more likely to respond and easier to listen. Because it's like if say you went to this you said cousin, right?
Family member.
Okay, all right. She said family member. I went cousin because I personal experience. So if you went to this family member's parents and you say, I seen this, that, and the other, the kids look like they're in a bad situation and I just feel so bad about it. Like I want you to help me understand why this is happening. And it just makes them like, even if they don't do something right that second, you planted the seed. So it's like, if like they have nothing to do at that point but to reflect back on themselves. Like, we raised her and these are our grandkids. So it starts at conversation. At least it gets the ball rolling, even though nothing happens at that moment. Like I said, you're planting the seed and things starts to move at least.
But it's kind of sad because one of the kids is like grown now, but she can't branch out because she need to look after her younger siblings. Like, it's like, oh, like she knows.
First thing I want to get on, the thing about communication starts at communication. I heard that somewhere. Like, it's like, if you see a problem within somebody, like, they don't want to be told what to do.
Yeah.
So you can't just go to them and be like, hey,
you fucking
shit
up.
Together, you fucking up.
Yeah.
You have to be like, all right, I understand you're struggling and I don't want to get in your business.
I'll tell you
like,
exactly what book I read that in.
I feel it's like you have to tell them that you're connected in it some type of way. Like, you feel this way to get that ball rolling.
Like, this is exactly why I'm bringing this to you, because it makes me feel some type of way. So there was a book called Crucial Conversations by Carrie Patterson that I got that from. And I listened to this book twice, and I couldn't really figure out why. Because like during the time that I listened to it, I was having issues with my ex, and I was trying to figure out ways to communicate with her. And what the fuck? Yeah. So I realized, like, just like that, like, instead of me going to you telling you exactly what you're doing wrong, let me take a different approach. So,
Right.
and she was like hot-headed about everything, like ready to hit something, like at any given moment, like just about to fly off the handles at like anytime you say something to her about what she doing.
Right.
And she was the one that would just automatically just like get defensive, like, well, you doing this, you doing that, you doing this, and you doing that. Like, okay, all right, so let me find a different way to approach this situation. So yeah, I was like read that book, and that's exactly where I got that from, and it helps. It helps a lot. Like it literally helped me de-escalate a lot of things in my life. Like even things at work. Like instead of going to somebody and saying like, look, man, like, yo, this shit fucked up over here. This shit fucked up over there. It's fucked up here. It's fucked up there. Like, yo, the whole thing fucked up. Like I just be like, yo, so I really want to work, man. I come here to work. I clock in, I do my thing, I go where y'all tell me to, but you know, it's just hard when this is going on over here, and I got all these barriers over on this side, man, and I got y'all up here trying to tell me to do this, but I can't do that because of this. You know, it's just,
I'm mad because I think I've heard you talk like that.
yeah, like it's effective. It's effective. It literally gets shit done because you're it's adulting, evolving, adapting to your situation. There we go. Boom.
And then kudos to those kids, because I know a person that had to adult early. Like in their teens, they had to step up to the plate and take care of their younger siblings and be that mom figure or father figure all the way up until like they barely never even like had a childhood because they had to adult early. So kudos to those out there. Never let anyone tell you that you're doing a bad job. You're doing an awesome job.
Happy Mother's Day and Happy Father's Day to you.
Facts.
Happy Parent Day.
You might as well.
That should be.
Might as well.
They have Grandparent Day.
Might as well. I mean, Mother's Day and Father's Day. I'm pretty sure that's like Parents' Day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Oh yeah. How long we been in? Oh shit, we haven't been as long as I thought we were.
Were
you generating those questions based off of what I put in Trello? Because those are pretty good questions that you were asking.
Kinda. I kind of trying to put my own twist on.
So I ain't gonna say nothing about my shirt today.
What's your shirt say? Oh my God! Look at that. Everybody, her shirt say adulting, and our topics are about adulting today. Let's
it was not planned.
Let's get that in the camera. Can we
not do that so robotically? That was robotic as shit. Can we not? Let's just not.
I'm sorry, y'all, but I keep looking at this check, and I'm thinking.
I know
it's not
atrocious.
I know checks don't go like this, but can we put a plus behind that?
Plus
1 million. 1 million plus.
Yeah.
Plus ultra. Let's go beyond.
Yeah, it's like we can't just
leave it there. I mean, I can like put another comma and 3 more zeros.
No, plus.
Infinity.
That mean it could be anything.
Put the infinity.
True. Plus infinity.
Remember that as kids.
Like yeah,
I got plus infinity.
Oh, well, yeah, but as kids, I also remember 1187. So let's not go to hell.
Elemento. Like what? Elemento. You know.
What letter is that?
Elemento.
Elemento.
Oh.
Oh
damn. So back to this topic, man. Let's go ahead and start wrapping this one up.
But
did we hit everything?
We kind of did, and I'm proud. We should do that more often.
So you really didn't wear that shirt on purpose today?
No, I didn't, cause Sunday or Saturday night, I was like, oh, I'm gonna wear this Tuesday. I'm gonna wear this. You know, I picked out my outfits.
Mm-hmm.
That's some adult shit for you.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't be having time in the morning to pick out no outfit.
That's how you know we getting old.
I remember got excited over a shop vac at work. I was like,
so in closing of this episode, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. Like, the party years, they got to go. You were 18 when you were 18. And anything after that, it's time to grow the fuck up, and it's time to get your shit together, because there is no excuse to not handling your business, not taking care of responsibility. You can walk around and beat on your chest all you want. You can walk around saying, I'm grown, don't talk to me like that. But at the same time, you got to understand that there is etiquette to how you live life, and you live life a certain way, then it's going to only reflect when you reach a certain age. And when I say reach a certain age, you're going to know when life hits you like a ton of bricks and you're on your deathbed wishing that you spent a little bit more time taking care of your kids opposed to going to the club, because you want to realize that once you hit your deathbed, there gonna be nobody there for you. So with that being said, we're just gonna go ahead and end this episode. Get your shit together, and yep, I'm gonna leave it at that.
facts. And please, I've been to a couple of raves. Please, people, grow up. I'm tired.
Wash your underarms.
Seeing 3 generations in the freaking club. You got freaking grandpa, the dad, and the son, or the vice versa, the grandma, the
and together,
mom,
and all 3 of them together got a whole football team of kids.
Just in the club, just raving it up. But all right, we gonna sign on out.
No ads.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead. All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you next week.
Peace.